Now, one of our next recipes is going to be our layers of flavor ribs, which is absolutely delicious, and we'll show you how simple and how easy it is to get all these different layers of flavor without going overboard on, still being able to taste the meat and have the best rib that you've ever had. We're going to get started with having a full slab of baby back ribs. And one key thing in cooking your ribs and having a great flavor inside and out is on the back here you get a little film, which you've seen. I already pulled most of it off, but it's this film that you just want to peel up and get all of that off, because that really, it doesn't cook the bottom of your meat the way that you want it to. And we're going to go ahead and start our first layer of flavor, which is going to be some smoked paprika. And we're going to be using a barbecue sauce on top of this. That's a little bit of a sweeter barbecue sauce. So we're just going to do a little bit of this flavoring with our seasoning. There we go. Our next layer is going to be our kosher salt. And salt just really brings all your flavors together and it enhances the flavor of your food. And we want to be pretty generous on the salt here. There we go. And our last one is going to be our pepper. And this dish is just absolutely delicious. Once you get this part of it done, which is really fast, really simple, and you get it on the grill, depending on the thickness of your ribs, on average they're going to take about an hour and a half to cook, but you'll want to check on them about every half hour. You're going to be getting your fingers a little bit dirty on this one, but you want to rub in your seasoning. Make sure it gets evenly distributed throughout the meat. And while you're doing this, it helps soak in some of that flavor that you just put on there. What I started with here is just some non-stick Reynolds wrap, and we're going to fold this over. You don't want it too tight because these ribs are going to steam on the grill. Now the next part of our following layer of flavor is going to be our wood chunks with water. And I just put that in a Weber drip pan, which works great, so you have lots of room right on your grill. And the wood chunks, you can get several different flavors. There is hickory. This one is a fire spice. And this is what it looks like after you let it soak for this was about 15 to 20 minutes. I just put some of the smaller chunks in there, and I just poured some water right over it. And by doing that, you get that amber color. And when you put this in the grill along with your ribs, you're going to leave this in the entire time with your ribs until you're pulling the ribs off. It's going to help get some of that moisture into the ribs, and it also gives it that little bit extra flavor there. So we're going to put that on one side, and then let's go ahead and put the ribs on the other side here. And I have the grill on this side on a low heat. On this side, I have one burner at a medium heat. And just make sure you keep your pouch open a little bit right there, and we'll see you back. The temperature is at about 400 degrees, and we're going to go ahead and check on our ribs and check on the wood chips soaking in that water as well, because sometimes you may need to fill that back up, especially when your grill is at like 400 degrees. That water is going to evaporate pretty quickly. Ooh, you can smell those wood chips. You can also smell a little bit of the seasonings off of the ribs there. It smells great. And as you can see here, this water has turned almost like a golden brown color, which is completely normal, but it has evaporated. It looks like about a quarter inch or so, so we're going to add some more water. And again, the layers of flavor, I mean, that's really what sets these ribs apart from any other rib that you've ever had. Now let's check on our ribs. That's looking very good. You can see they're cooking, and those juices are just, the juices stay at the bottom and they also are on top of the ribs here, so it's going to help give that, give your ribs even more flavor from all of the juices from the fat, the bone, everything there is just going to marry great. So we're going to close that up some here. Our ribs are almost done. What we need to do now is go ahead and pull them out of the tin foil, start basting them, and start getting that other layer of flavor on there. It did end up taking about 1 hour and 20 minutes to cook. So I'm going to use my handy Weber tongs for this. Now, when I had just pulled them apart, some of the ribs broke a little bit, which is perfect. And we're going to put that right on the grill. Now we're going to use our Weber basting brush set, which is absolutely wonderful for any type of basting. And we're going to put our barbecue sauce on here. And as you can see here, these silicone bristles really hold a lot of the sauce. So this is, again, very fast and easy. Once you're done barbecuing your ribs, go ahead and close the lid, let them sit for a couple of minutes to let that sauce really marinate on it. And then we're going to flip the ribs, add the sauce to the back of the ribs, flip them again, and then add the sauce to the top of them. Our ribs are off the grill and absolutely delicious looking. Let me go ahead and show you the right consistency for pulling these ribs off the grill. I already had one break apart just a little bit, so I'm going to show you off of that end. When you pull on it, see how you still have a little bit of, it takes a little bit to do it, but not a lot. That is going to be a true rib. This is our layers of flavor ribs. I hope you've enjoyed it.